Welcome to AEW Theatre. That's exactly what this show was tonight. And it wasn't because they were actually in a theater. Like, it wasn't, I don't know where they were at in Phoenix, but they was in the theater. And it looked exactly like that because these people were just sitting down watching this shit. It was like if you went to like Disney World and you go into like those places where they have like those hourly shows and stuff like that, and you sit down and you ooh ah and all that other stuff. That's exactly what AEW felt like this week. It felt like a theater show. And when I was looking at it, I said, you know what? This is not all half bad. The look of the show. When we get into the show, that's entirely different. This show went off the rails so bad. A lot of decisions that was on this show is like each and every week. It's just the formula that they have that they just keep doing is just so indie. It's not a professional wrestling company. It's an indie show just on TV every week. And this show did nothing. This was the follow-up for after Grand Slam. I told you, if this show wasn't good, then the trip over there was nothing. It was a Ring of Honor show that they didn't even advertise for. It was just there. It was almost like a dark situation, which we will get into later on because that's why Chris Jericho is so upset. But this show was it was interesting in a lot of ways. But in a lot of ways, I had my pros and cons with it. I will give you my pros and cons, right? This show started off with a con, not Tony Khan. They had these boys out here for 18 minutes and 21 seconds cutting a promo. This is the last thing that this company needs because no one in this company can really talk. I'm tired of hearing MJF talk because he keeps on coming in it with the same format. You know, I'm MJF, I'm better than you, and I know there's no range in his promos. His promos all the same. And then he'll, I'm not better than you. You don't talk to me like that. Like, it's like the same thing. The person goes from the other end of the corner. He stands on the opposite end. And they just trade. I guess that's their way of doing their promos. I don't know. They've been doing that though. But this show, it started out with an 18-minute and 20-some second promo. And at first, I didn't even know what the hell they were talking about. I'm like, because after a while, it just sounded like Charlie Brown teacher. Wah, 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 wah. But I went back and I wrote down what he said. You're trying to start a feud here with these two people over beef that happened in 2019. It's 2025, cuz. You're trying to start a beef because you don't have anything for these people. MJF comes out here saying in 2019, at the first event, Double or Nothing, the Casino Battle Royale was the first match, and the winner will go on to challenge the AEW champion, or whatever the case. Hangman screwed him out of the title. So you've been holding on to this for all this time, and ain't said nothing. You've been passing by this man in the hallway, all that. This man done burned down folks' houses and all this shit. And here you is talking about a beef that happened, I don't know how many years ago. It was no story. That's not a story. That's not something that a high-profile feud like this should be. This feud should be, in order for me to get my opportunity at the AEW World Championship, because they're both former world champions in this company, I need to put down somebody who's also a former world champion. I don't like Moxley. I don't like what he's doing out here. But Tony Khan told me that I have to beat a former world champion to earn my title shot against Moxley. Something like that would do. I don't know what the hell is going on here. MJF went on to say that he remembered beating him for the Dynamite ring for the first time. I didn't even know he won that ring 6 times. That's ridiculous. You won the ring 6 times, and granted, he had the longest title reign in that company. But your claim to fame is you trying to brag about winning a fucking ring that don't mean shit. It don't mean nothing. Tony created that tournament just to put that ring on him. That ring could have meant something to somebody in that company if he was pushing them. But later on in this episode, we will see that Tony Khan doesn't know what he's doing. There you go. Hangman comes in, and when he cuts a promo, it just goes on and on and on. Like that CM Punk promo that he cut on him. Talking about, what makes a champion is about the quiet moments when the cameras are off. And you're sitting there by yourself. Man, he don't know how to cut a promo. Not a good one. Not a good one to build a feud. Because he's all talking about, I know who you are. I know what you've done. You're 28 years old, and he already has a history making career, everybody. Despite all of his accomplishments, he cannot be happy. There's something he still hasn't been able to win from them. And he's pointing out to the theater crowd because it's a theater. It might not be all that bad for them to be like this if they was to take this format. If they was to take this format and go town to town. AEW Theatre, baby. That might not be a good look for them because I like the show, how the show looked. So he goes into the thing and MJF calls him a hypocrite, saying that you the man that drunk somebody's blood. You attacked innocent veterans in the locker room. You used a syringe on somebody's face, which was cringe. You burned down somebody's house. And all the while, the crowd is chanting cowboy shit. Cowboy shit. But then he got cut off by Hangman and said, you know what? Christopher Daniels is more of a man than you'll ever be. He talking about if his career ended tonight, he would have had a hell of a career or something like that. And then asked him, you know what? If your career ended tonight, what would your career be? I mean, he can say that he's a former AEW world champion. He held the ring 6 times. I mean, bro, at this point, I'm just waiting for either one of these guys to get out of this company and go to WWE. At this point, this is what because this doesn't make any sense for them to be feuding like this. The beef is necessary when things are more flushed out. This has been going on for the past few weeks now. Them crossing paths backstage and all of this other shit. When is it going to get to the meat and potatoes of the matter? I want people to feud when they have a reason to feud. They don't have a reason to feud here. They was like, okay, we'll just cut a promo on each other saying that, 2019 at the first whatever, I was supposed to win and you won, you cheated, all this other stuff. And the promo went on and on. It went on and on. Hangman went on and on, talking and talking. Like, if his career ended tonight, all that other stuff, I don't know. But MJF laughed it off and said, I'm better than you in every way. And then, at the end of it, he was like, saying, name one thing you're good at. And he was like, I'm real. And that's how that 18-minute promo went. And that's how it went. Then after that, MJF spits in this man's face. Disrespected this man. Now we got a feud here. You didn't have to do that. But he spits in his face. Paige trying to go after him, of course, because it stank. And then the security come in, try to break it up. Then Christopher Daniel shows up. And then Christopher Daniel, do you know who the hell you are? All that other stuff. Man, I don't know. That was, man, I was drunk. I watched this shit literally 2 hours ago. I'm sitting here drinking a nice beer, got my weed right here, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, bro, what are you fucking talking about? I had to go back and try to write notes down to see what are you talking about. And what you talking about ain't no reason for beef. But this spit in the face is, though. That's disrespect. That's different. Now, the match, man, judging how they put their matches together based off what happened on this show this past week, I am not looking forward to it. You can do all the pull-aparts you want to do. That shit don't make no sense. But as soon as it was over with, the matches announced. Revolution, MJF, and Adam Hangman Page. I wonder what's going to happen. We'll see how it's going to happen. The first match in this theater show was Samoa Joe, Hook, Shibata. They call themselves the Ops. Stupid name for a stupid group. You got a fat man, an Asian dude, and a kid in the ring. Y'all ain't scaring nobody. Maybe if you put that sweet tooth costume on, maybe you could do something. Then they're up against Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Kip Sabian. It's a 6-man. It is what it is. Shibata did cool shit, But this crowd was looking at this like it's a theater show, man. It's like it wasn't a wrestling show to that night. It was theater. You're just watching a performance. Just by the way that everything looked. It looked great. They need to stay that way. This could be their thing. AEW Theatre coming to a town near you. Samoa Joe shouldn't be put in this situation. I was watching this match and I was like, man, in NXT, he was the NXT champion. He was taken seriously. He was put on a pedestal. He was unbeatable, undeniable. He went through beefs with Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor. And then in AEW, he was the world champ. I remember that he was the world champion. Meanwhile, he's out here wrestling with these buffoons. And Christian got a binder, that metal binder, that says that he has a world championship match whenever. How long does that contract last? Because he's been holding that binder for I don't know how long. You never see him again. Which begs the question, why? I was listening to Jim Cornette this week. And on the show, Brian Last had brought to his attention that a woman that Vince McMahon had a sexual assault case, who was a referee back in the day. I don't remember her name. But it was brought up that Tony Khan just had her on the payroll just to have her on the payroll. But the reason that he had her on the payroll is so she can be a fucking talent scout. That was a fucking referee. These people over here are just getting paid money just to get paid money. I don't understand it. You'll never see Christian again. To win. This man old as hell. This man ain't finna travel each and every fucking week. This man is collecting. You gotta tell me he collecting more than 7 figures a year, cuz. You gotta tell me that. That's why they over there. Because this man ain't doing shit with you. Miro got paid for 1.5 years to sit at home, and then he got released. But the Ops won. A stupid name for a stupid stable. What are they going to do? They're going to go after the Trios Championship? You got to get past the Undisputed Kingdom for that. Or maybe you're going to see Shane Taylor and his group again. This fucking show. Then the next thing you had was Chris Jericho, and this is what I wanted to talk about a little bit more. You're in Australia. for Grand Slam. And I'm pretty sure you were to make it seem like they're there for that big event, which the reason that they were there is to have more eyes on their product after the All-Star game. And that's fine. I respect Tony for that. But this shouldn't have happened over there. Ring of Honor had a pay-per-view or a show or whatever the case may be, and it was not even advertised. Did you watch it? Did you even know that that was there? So there was a tag match or whatever the case, I don't know. But Chris Jericho was wrestling Bandito. And Bandito beat Chris Jericho. So right here, Chris Jericho is like saying he's pissed off. You know, he's trying to talk all tough. I'm the wrong man to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? They bleep that out or something like that. I'm like, bro, you need to chill the fuck out. He's another one. AARP, and he's over here doing what? If you're the Ring of Honor champion, why are you even on AEW? Why are you even on there? The only two people I see from Ring of Honor on this show is Dustin Rhodes and Chris Jericho. And there's no reason for Chris Jericho to even be on the show. He doesn't even wrestle that much on there. He just got to show his face. He's got to show his face on TV. I got to say fuck to let the people know that I'm serious about this shit. Man, fuck this. That's another thing that I didn't like about this show. I don't know, man. If you like it, you like it. I don't know what more. What more can you say? What more can you do? Do I do what I do? You can do whatever you want. Then we get to the street fight. The street fight. If this didn't feel like theater, I don't know what is. It's theater with violence. They could have something here. So, mind you, like I said, they're in a theater. You know, they don't really have room to walk around because any room to walk around, you in a fucking, you know, you talking to people, you walking up to people. Ain't no room for a street fight. What you gonna do in this? You say it's a street fight, but you just fighting all around the ring. You got tables with barbed wire in it. You know, you got, at one point in time, Hobbs, I don't know what it is with people in AEW with tasting somebody's blood or drinking blood or all that stuff. Okay, so Hobbs get busted open. And then Big Bill takes the blood and he puts it around his mouth like lipstick. And then starts prancing around like a female. I'm like, bro, what is this? I'm like, what is this? So then the bad apple dude comes out there. Mind you, Hobbs is over there just bleeding, just trying to act all slow just so they can build up whatever they building up on the other side of the ring. You can literally look at Hobbs' face as he's on the side of the ring trying to act like he tired, hurt, and everything like that. And I mean, I said, man, if you don't get your big-ass, gorilla-ass, eating corn, picking cornbread, eating ass bitch up. This shit don't make no fucking sense. Aubrey come out there and be like, man, you got 2 minutes, cuz. They ain't finished setting up the spot yet. So this man is on the apron looking at this man set this table up. I don't understand. If you like it, you like it, I guess. But it was all right. I ain't going to say it was a bad match. What they did is what they did. I just would like if Big Bill and Hobbs were doing something. We're doing something. I just wish that they were doing something. I just wish that they had a better, I don't know. So the match really took a turn when Hobbs gave him the world's strongest slam on the on the stage. And then he goes over to his little book bag. He got a smile on the face, and then he bam! Hit his ass in the head with it. You know what happened next? Because you know it's AEW, right? You know what happened next. He started bleeding. He hit him with the book bag full of bricks. Fake bricks. Bricks ain't fucking real. But hey, it's all right. And then you look up, and now Big Bill's busted open. So then they go over to the steps, and they hitting each other off the steps. And then, long story short, the man put the man through the table. They went back and forth. And then he just picked him up and slammed him through the table. Now, I did not know that a street fight ended in a 10 count. I didn't know a street fight ended like that. Can somebody tell me what the rules of a street fight is? So a street fight, you mean that this is a last man standing match? What the fuck is going on here? I'm like, what the hell? A street fight is a 3 count. It's a street fight. Falls count anywhere. But over here, it's a 10 count. Does that make any sense to you? The match was all right for what it was, but what is this gonna do for? I don't want to see Big Bill no more. I don't want to see him no more. This does nothing for Hobbs. Hobbs ain't finna do nothing. He came from doing nothing. He came from getting choked out. And now you think just because you had this man won this right here, man, I swear to God, AEW Theater. But if it enjoyed it though, because you know, you always gonna enjoy seeing big dudes beat the shit out of each other. I don't care if it's this or anything else. But it really just didn't make no sense to me that it was a 10 count and not a 3 count. So I don't know. Things just can't be explained on this show. It can't be explained. Then you have Tony. Now, before Tony ever won this title, before she ever won this title, the AEW World Women's Championship was never really on Dynamite that much. It was all the TBS Championship. It was a TBS Championship. That's because the woman who had the Women's World title really wasn't drawing anybody like that. And the only time you seen her on Dynamite is when she cut like a promo. And that was it. Because she's not fucking good in the ring. During this time, Mercedes had the TBS Championship, and it must be in her clause to make every Dynamite and make that championship like the world title, and then the world title like the TBS Championship. Do you see what I'm going with this? So now that the title is back on Toni Storm, a star, this was a perfect promo. Beautiful. Loved it. And the only thing that I'm thinking of while she is doing this promo is who the fuck are you going to defend this title against? Everyone has been beaten. Everyone has been gone for so long. You know what would have been a really nice feud? Her versus Camille. You want to know what would be a really nice feud? Her versus Athena to see who can be the best champion of champions. Tony versus Deonna Purrazzo. Britt Baker, she's not there no more. She's getting rid of. But you see where I'm going with this? She has the title, but I'm not confident that Tony knows what he's doing with the title. So Tony comes out here, said in Australia she faced a woman from hell who broke her heart, took her title and ruined her soul. Maria May is a sick bitch, but she is proud of her. She gave her the fight of her life, and then she beat her with her small package, and I hated that move. And she said, May should have worn protection, as she nailed her with her biggest package there was ever been. I like it. I like this character. Man, the only thing I'm thinking now is like, when that contract is up, because you know you got to know that UE's going to make a play at her. But, man, while she's over there, man, Toni Storm, get your money, boo-boo. You deserve it. She was the most over thing on this show tonight. That night. She was the most over thing on that show. But who does she have to feud with next? I want to know. I want to know. Then another decision that was just like baffling among all the other baffling things on this show. So Willow is in the back. And she's talking about, you know what I'm saying? Last time I did an interview, I got beat by Marina Shafir and got walked on. In comes the exact same thing. Marina comes in there, beats her ass, threw her ass to the steel production thing, and her ass just was right there in the rack. And I'm like, why are they doing this girl like this? Like, why? Like, it does not make her look any good. It makes her look weak. It makes her look like a pushover. She should come out there next week and just interrupt somebody and say, Marina, get your ass out here. You want to attack me twice now. How about you bring your ass and do it to my face, bitch? But they ain't going to do that. So then John grabs the camera. He goes out there to the theater crowd, reminds everybody that he is the world champion. So this building is his. The fans that's sitting in here, you mind. Nobody comes to his house and lays out a challenge. You know, I should just pop Adam Copeland's, you know, neck off his shoulders and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So then he said, like, if he he's like, I should pop Adam's head off his shoulders, and if he shows up at Revolution, he will finish the job. So Jay White comes out there, and as it looks, he will be outnumbered, right? Right? Yeah, outnumbered. I gotta take a sip of this because this shit is stupid. This is that indie shit. So then Adam Copeland comes out of nowhere. And he introduces Spike. They got the goddamn board with the nails on it over. And then that's when they ran. They ran when they seen the 2x4 full of nails. They ran. And then Cope grabs the mic and sends a warning to every member of the Death Riders. Man, this shit is stupid. This is your main event for your Revolution. This is your main event program, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Now, if you was listening to fans and they're telling you that, hey, man, this is not working, like, what is it? Can you just give us something of why these guys are here, why they're doing what they're doing? But no, they just gave you, like, a 20-minute interview, Renee interviewing them in their basement. Like, who is this for? The show looked awesome. The crowd, the building, the theater, they should do a theater show like this. This should be AEW Theater because this fit Toni Storm perfect. That spotlight was perfect because it's a theater show. It should be a theater show. This is AEW Theater, ladies and gentlemen. Then you got Mercedes in the back. She's talking about Grand Slam, how she beat that girl. Now you'll never see that girl or that puppet again. Because guess what Mercedes said? No puppets. No puppets. It was just a match to have her win. And that's it. I don't know, man. You'll never see that girl again. No trace of her on this show. No trace of the Hurt Syndicate on this show. Nothing. Like I said, I would have the Hurt Syndicate out there each and every fucking week. I'm paying y'all all this money. I want y'all to go out there and hurt people. I got 260 people on this roster. I know I can find somebody for you to hurt. Nowhere on this show. He doesn't know how to book. He doesn't even know how to come up with the show. So Mercedes is, like I said, she's back there. No more puppets. No more this, no more that. And then they're talking about this Japanese girl, Momo Watanabe. I don't know. Some Asian girl, right? But I thought that this was pretty cool. So apparently she won a tournament amongst AEW and a lot of other independent promotions. And whoever wins that tournament, they can pick to choose which champion out of all these promotions that they want to go for. So if you have the opportunity to face any champion in that promotion, why would you choose a TBS championship and not the women's world title? That shit don't make no fucking sense. It doesn't make a bit of sense. It's just stupid. And you mean tell me if you got the opportunity to pick a champion, you gonna pick the secondary champion? Oh, but it's Mercedes Moné, so, you know, that shit's stupid. That title reign's stupid. She's not even doing nothing. She didn't even wrestle on this show. I would have had her ass wrestling on the show. But you want to know something? She thinks she's a bigger deal than what she actually is. I don't understand. I really don't. But hey, it's your fucking show. Then you had the match that everyone is talking about. If I was Tony Khan, I would suspend Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. I would suspend them for being unprofessional. I would suspend them for being negligent. I would just suspend them for just trying to go into business for yourself. You ain't even did shit in the business whatsoever. You got one girl who's an independent hog House of Glory champion. Megan Bayne, she's the hog women's champion. That don't make no fucking sense. I mean, it does make sense you're independent, right? So you're in AEW, which is another independent place, because I've been calling that place an independent promotion just with a big funding. That's exactly what it is. This match proved it. You know what would have been smart? If you wanted to have Chris Statlander versus Megan Bayne, I would have held that off for Revolution. I'll give Chris Statlander some wins. I'll give Megan Bayne some wins and let her beat Thunder Rosa. Let her beat, a former women's world champion. They ain't did nothing here. They rushed this program so much. Oh, well, she beat Penelope Ford next year, so she's ready to go up against Megan. I'm like, what? You don't want to build this up to earn money? You're just giving it away free for the theater crowd out there. You're just giving it away. The match was actually pretty good. I had no problem with the match. The match was pretty good. She did the F5 right this week. She did it right this week. But then Penelope Ford came out there. She beats her. Chris Statlander lost against Megan Bayne. Loser. And then got her ass beat after the fact. And then Penelope Ford came out there because she got her ass beat by Chris last week. So she's beating on her. And then out comes Thunder Rosa. And this is where things get a little bit dicey. So Thunder Rosa came out there with the chair. Usually when that happens, some people will just run out the ring and point at them and be like, I'm going to get you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Or something like that. You ain't shit without the goddamn chair. Not these two women right here. These women stood there and no-sold everything. This girl was trying to flinch with the chair. She even wielded the chair back and tried to hit him with it. And Megan just stood there laughing at her. Disrespectful bitch. She just stood there and just laughed at her. And then Penelope got in front of her like, and what? What you gonna do? You ain't finna do shit. You gonna do that shit? Huh? She made Thunder Rosa look like a complete bitch. Here she is with the thing. And then she went and grabbed the chair. And they playing tug of war with it in the ring. It was so bad. To the point to what the referee had to get in between them to make it seem like he's holding them back. Meanwhile, them girls just walked out the ring laughing at that girl. I don't know what she did behind the curtain. I don't know what she did. But these girls was not having it. And it's like, you beat Chris. I don't even want to see this tag match because you know that's where it's going. Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus Chris and Thunder Rosa. I don't want to see that shit. That shit's stupid. I can't believe that this is like the first time I'm really, no, not the first time, because I've went in depth with AEW, but man, it's just like, I just don't understand what I'm seeing. You just can't have good wrestling matches on TV just for the sake of having good matches on TV. That shit ain't gonna get nowhere. It doesn't make any sense. I'm just breaking down why this shit don't make no sense. Made a fool out the girl and made a bigger fool out of Chris Statlander, who has to sit there on the ground and act like a corpse, dead, while all this shit going down. This woman just got beat. You ain't pushing her. You ain't even worried about pushing her. You ain't even pushing Megan Bayne. You ain't even pushed her right. You fucked up. You done fucked her up like you fucked Camille up. And how you fucked up every other. He doesn't know how to make a star. He doesn't know how to do this shit. And I just wish somebody would come in there and just tell him. I don't want to see Megan Bayne no more. She has a great look. Her work is somewhat all right in the ring. You can tell that she's green. She just needs more seasoning. She needs to understand the crowd. She needs to not walk around the ring so slow looking the way she looks. She ain't that good looking. But she got a body, though, and that can take her places. But at the same time, like, she needs to, I don't know, man. It just seemed off. No soul, that girl. That girl just stood there embarrassed. I would be so embarrassed because I just exposed the business right there in theater. But I'm pretty sure people are going to be like, oh, man, this Dynamite was great. This is a good Dynamite. Oh my gosh, it was a great Dynamite. This show was not good. It was tolerable, but it wasn't good. So then you had, ever since then, that's when things started to go down. Ever since that little debacle, that's when things just went down. So then you had Ricochet. He comes out here and he got the jacket on, the glasses. He's a fucking dork. So he comes out there and insults Phoenix, gloats about beating Swerve and other wrestlers and all that other stuff. And then Prince Nana come out there. And say, hey, man, I want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I've been up and down these roads. I've done some things, you know what I'm saying? I've been in this business 3 decades, all this shit right there. That road been with me through it all. It's sentimental to me, and you don't deserve it. Give me my road back. Ricochet looks at him and said, come and take it. And then he does that. And then I'm like, man, he's such a cornball. And then you had the main event of the night. This is another thing that I didn't understand. Just like the street fight going 10 counts, I didn't understand this either because it made no fucking sense because it's stupid. So apparently, Kenny Omega is bigger than any championship in that company because the winner, first of all, this is a Revolution International Championship Series. What's a series to you? Best out of 7, right? This is just an exhibition match that he just put together, that he threw a name on to try to make it seem intriguing. So the winner of this match between Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong goes up against Takeshita next week for the International Championship. And whoever wins the title next week goes on to face Kenny Omega. Does that make any sense to you? That don't make any fucking sense to me. It's a stupid idea with a stupid concept. Orange Cassidy won. The man ain't been seen on TV for a month, few weeks since he got bleach poured down his throat. And he gets an opportunity at a championship. So then Tony Schiavone gets into the ring, try to talk to him ahead of the tag match. So Don Callis and the family comes out there. He insults Cassidy. Then Takeshita and Davis attacked them. Kenny Omega came out there, made the save, whatever. And that was Dynamite. Boy, I tell you, interesting. It was an interesting show. For all the wrong reasons. Like, I've been watching this show consistently now since the new year. And I don't understand how people can really, like, sit there and watch it like that. And then love it. Like, I don't understand. I'm just talking about it because I'm just trying to get you to see from my point of view of what I think about it. That's why I watch this shit every week. And you want to know something? It's entertaining for all the wrong reasons, because it shows that this man doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to book talent. You got people on Wrestling Observer saying this nigga need to have production meetings because he doesn't have production meetings. He doesn't go over things. It's an indie fucking promotion that is being ran by a billionaire. None of this shit makes any sense. This shit embarrasses the business, and I just don't understand it. The only good hot spot on this show was Tony fucking Storm. She was the most over person there. Everything else was a dud. I don't know what you're watching, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But that was Dynamite. That was fucking Dynamite. That was AEW Theatre. And if they can have this shit like a theater show going all around the U.S., they could have something. It can be like Lucha Underground. It could be like what Lucha Underground was. This show needs to be theater. Because that's exactly what it is. This is not a wrestling promotion, bro. This is a theater show. And I said that a couple of weeks ago during an AEW review that I did, that this was theater. And it looked like it tonight. That night. Whew, boy. Somebody need to come in here and switch this place up. Turn it upside down, because Tony is not doing it. And I want to see these numbers to see where this show landed. Because I guarantee you it was under 600. I guarantee you it was under 600.